Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I need to share something with you that might shock you, and I'm not one to sugarcoat things because your health is far too important. If you're over 65 years old and you're eating yogurt thinking you're doing something wonderful for your body, you might actually be poisoning yourself slowly, day by day, spoonful by spoonful. Now I know that sounds dramatic, but stay with me because what I'm about to reveal could literally add years to your life and save you from unnecessary suffering. You see, the yogurt aisle has become a minefield of sugar-laden, artificially flavored products that are marketed as health foods when they are anything but. The food industry has taken what was once a simple, nourishing food and turned it into something that's contributing to inflammation, blood sugar chaos, digestive problems, and accelerated aging. But here's the good news, and please listen carefully because this is crucial. There are still 4 types of yogurt that are absolute powerhouses for your health, especially after 65, and I'm going to tell you exactly what they are and why you need to eat them daily. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which yogurts are sabotaging your health and which ones are going to strengthen your bones, improve your digestion, balance your blood sugar, and potentially add vibrant, healthy years to your life. So let's dive in because time is precious and your health is everything. Let's start with the worst offenders, the yogurts that are sitting in your refrigerator right now that you think are helping you, but are actually working against everything your body needs at this stage of life. The first yogurt you must never eat, and I cannot stress this enough, is anything labeled as low-fat or fat-free flavored yogurt. Now I know what you're thinking because I've heard it 1,000 times. But Barbara, my doctor told me to avoid fat. My doctor said fat is bad for my heart. Let me tell you something that might contradict everything you've been told, but it's the truth. When manufacturers remove the fat from yogurt, they have to replace it with something to make it palatable. And what do they replace it with? Sugar. Mountains of sugar. Sometimes as much sugar as you'd find in a candy bar or a can of soda. And we are not just talking about natural milk sugars here. We are talking about added sugars, high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose, and all manner of chemical compounds that your body simply doesn't recognize as food. When you consume these low-fat yogurts, your blood sugar spikes dramatically. For someone over 65, this is particularly dangerous because your body's ability to regulate blood sugar diminishes with age. Your pancreas isn't as responsive as it used to be, your cells become more resistant to insulin, and every spike in blood sugar causes inflammation throughout your entire body. This inflammation doesn't just disappear, it accumulates, it damages your blood vessels, it contributes to heart disease, it accelerates cognitive decline, it weakens your immune system, and it creates an environment where chronic diseases can flourish. But here's what they don't tell you. The natural fat in full-fat yogurt is actually protective. It contains conjugated linoleic acid, which has been shown in numerous studies to support heart health, reduce inflammation, and even help with weight management. The fat in yogurt also helps your body absorb the calcium and other fat-soluble vitamins that are crucial for bone health, something that becomes critically important after 65 when osteoporosis and bone fractures become serious concerns. The second worst yogurt, and this one might surprise you, is yogurt with fruit on the bottom or mixed throughout. Now I can already hear the objections. But Barbara, fruit is healthy. How can yogurt with fruit be bad? Listen carefully because this is where the food industry has been particularly clever in their deception. The fruit that's added to these yogurts is not fresh fruit that's been gently folded in. It's fruit that's been processed, often sitting in a sugar syrup that's so sweet it makes the actual fruit taste bland by comparison. These fruit preparations contain not just sugar, but also pectin, modified food starch, natural flavors which are anything but natural, artificial colors like red 40 and blue 1 that have been linked to behavioral problems and potential cancer risks, and preservatives to extend shelf life. When you eat one of these yogurts, you're essentially eating a dessert masquerading as a health food. A single serving can contain anywhere from 20 to 30 grams of sugar, and remember, The American Heart Association recommends no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day for women and 36 for men. You're hitting your entire daily limit with one yogurt cup, and you haven't even had breakfast yet. For someone over 65, this is particularly problematic because excess sugar consumption is directly linked to accelerated aging at the cellular level through a process called glycation, where sugar molecules attach to proteins and create advanced glycation end products, appropriately abbreviated as AGEs. These AGEs damage collagen and elastin, the proteins that keep your skin firm and your blood vessels flexible. They impair kidney function, they contribute to cataracts and vision problems, and they are associated with increased risk of Alzheimer's disease and dementia. The third yogurt you must avoid at all costs is anything containing artificial sweeteners. Now this is controversial because many people, especially those watching their weight or managing diabetes, have been told that artificial sweeteners are a safe alternative to sugar. But the research is becoming increasingly clear that these chemical compounds are anything but safe, particularly for older adults. Aspartame, sucralose, asulfame potassium, these substances don't exist in nature. They are created in laboratories, and your body doesn't know what to do with them. Recent studies have shown that artificial sweeteners can actually disrupt your gut microbiome, killing off beneficial bacteria and allowing harmful bacteria to proliferate. Your gut microbiome is absolutely crucial for everything from digestion and nutrient absorption to immune function and even mental health through the gut-brain axis. When you're over 65, your gut microbiome is already more fragile and less diverse than it was when you were younger, so the last thing you need is to be consuming substances that further damage this delicate ecosystem. But it gets worse because artificial sweeteners have also been linked to increased cravings for sweet foods, weight gain despite being 0 calories because they disrupt your metabolism and insulin response, increased risk of type 2 diabetes, ironically the very condition they are supposed to help prevent, cardiovascular problems including increased risk of heart attack and stroke, and potential neurotoxic effects that could contribute to cognitive decline. When you consume artificially sweetened yogurt, you're also usually consuming a host of other artificial ingredients, thickeners like carrageenan, which has been linked to gut inflammation and digestive issues, artificial flavors, artificial colors, and preservatives. Your body is a natural biological system that has evolved over millions of years to process natural foods, and when you introduce these artificial chemicals, you're asking your body to deal with substances it has no evolutionary framework for handling. The fourth and final worst yogurt is conventional yogurt made from milk from conventionally raised cows that have been given antibiotics, growth hormones like RBGH or RBST, and fed an unnatural diet of genetically modified corn and soy instead of grass. When cows are given antibiotics, residues of those antibiotics end up in their milk and subsequently in the yogurt you're eating. When you consume these antibiotic residues day after day, you're contributing to antibiotic resistance in your own body, meaning that when you actually need antibiotics for a serious infection, they might not work. You're also disrupting your gut microbiome with these low-level antibiotic exposures. The growth hormones given to cows to increase milk production have been linked to increased levels of insulin-like growth factor 1, or IGF-1, in the milk, and elevated IGF-1 levels have been associated with increased cancer risk, particularly breast, prostate, and colorectal cancers. For someone over 65, when cancer risk naturally increases, you don't want to be consuming anything that might further elevate that risk. The unnatural diet of corn and soy also changes the nutritional profile of the milk dramatically. Grass-fed cows produce milk that's higher in omega-3 fatty acids, conjugated linoleic acid, vitamin K2, and beta-carotene. These are all nutrients that are particularly beneficial for heart health, bone health, and overall longevity. Conventional milk from grain-fed cows is much higher in omega-6 fatty acids, which promote inflammation when consumed in excess, and much lower in these beneficial nutrients. Now that we've covered the 4 worst yogurts you should never eat, let's talk about the good news, the 4 yogurts you absolutely must include in your daily diet if you're over 65. These are the yogurts that are going to support your digestive health, strengthen your bones, balance your blood sugar, reduce inflammation, support your immune system, and potentially add years of vibrant health to your life. The first yogurt you must eat daily is plain, full-fat, grass-fed Greek yogurt. Notice I said plain, which means no added sugar, no fruit, no flavorings, nothing but yogurt. Greek yogurt is different from regular yogurt because it's been strained to remove most of the whey, which is the liquid part of milk, and this straining process results in a yogurt that's much thicker, creamier, and significantly higher in protein. A typical serving of Greek yogurt contains about 15 to 20 grams of protein compared to about 8 to 9 grams in regular yogurt. This high protein content is absolutely crucial for people over 65 because as we age, we naturally lose muscle mass in a process called sarcopenia, and this muscle loss accelerates after age 65, contributing to frailty, falls, loss of independence, and increased mortality risk. Getting adequate protein at every meal helps preserve and even build muscle mass. And the protein in Greek yogurt is complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs, but cannot produce on its own. The full fat aspect is critical because the fat helps you feel satisfied and prevents blood sugar spikes. It contains those beneficial fatty acids I mentioned earlier, including conjugated linoleic acid, and it helps your body absorb the calcium and vitamin D that are naturally present in yogurt. Calcium and vitamin D work together synergistically to maintain bone density, and after 65, especially for women after menopause, bone loss accelerates dramatically. The grass-fed aspect ensures you're getting the highest quality milk with the optimal nutritional profile, higher in omega-3s, higher in vitamin K2, which is crucial for directing calcium into your bones rather than into your arteries, where it contributes to arterial calcification and heart disease, and free from antibiotics and growth hormones. The second must-eat yogurt is full-fat kefir, and I cannot emphasize enough how powerful this fermented dairy product is for your health. Kefir is similar to yogurt, but it's made using kefir grains, which are actually not grains at all but symbiotic cultures of bacteria and yeast, and this results in a fermented dairy product that's much more liquid than yogurt and contains a far more diverse array of probiotic organisms. While regular yogurt might contain 2 to 7 strains of beneficial bacteria, kefir can contain 30 or more different strains of bacteria and beneficial yeasts. This diversity is incredibly important for your gut microbiome, particularly as you age, when gut diversity naturally declines. These probiotics in kefir do so much more than just support digestion, although they certainly do that by helping break down food, producing digestive enzymes, and maintaining the integrity of your intestinal lining. They also produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which reduce inflammation throughout your entire body. They produce vitamins, including several B vitamins and vitamin K2. They compete with pathogenic bacteria and yeasts, preventing them from colonizing your gut. They communicate directly with your immune system, with about 70% of your immune system residing in your gut. They produce neurotransmitters, including serotonin, which is why gut health is so closely linked to mental health and mood, and they may even help lower cholesterol and blood pressure according to emerging research. For someone over 65, kefir is particularly valuable because it's easier to digest than yogurt due to the additional fermentation. It's naturally lower in lactose since the bacteria consume most of the milk sugar during fermentation, making it suitable even for many people who are lactose intolerant. And it provides such powerful immune support at a time when your immune system naturally weakens with age. The third must-eat yogurt is plain, full-fat, organic yogurt made from sheep's milk or goat's milk. And this might be new to many of you who have only ever consumed cow's milk yogurt, but I encourage you to be open-minded because these alternative milk yogurts offer some unique benefits. Sheep's milk yogurt is incredibly rich and creamy because sheep's milk naturally contains more fat and protein than cow's milk, and it's absolutely packed with nutrients. It contains significantly more calcium than cow's milk yogurt, more vitamin B12, which is crucial for nerve health and cognitive function, and which many older adults are deficient in, more riboflavin, which supports energy production at the cellular level, and more zinc, which is essential for immune function and wound healing. Goat's milk yogurt is also wonderful because goat's milk has a different protein structure than cow's milk, making it easier to digest for many people. The fat globules in goat's milk are also smaller than those in cow's milk, which makes the milk and yogurt made from it easier on the digestive system. Both sheep and goat milk yogurts contain unique fatty acids that have anti-inflammatory properties, and they are often better tolerated by people who experience digestive discomfort or inflammation from cow's milk. The key is to choose organic versions to ensure the animals weren't given antibiotics or hormones, and to choose plain, full-fat versions without any added sugars or flavors. Now I understand these yogurts can be more expensive and sometimes harder to find than cow's milk yogurt, but I encourage you to seek them out at health food stores, farmers markets, or even online because the benefits for your health, especially after 65, are substantial. The fourth and final must-eat yogurt is coconut milk yogurt, and this is the only non-dairy option I'm recommending because it's the only one that truly delivers substantial health benefits comparable to dairy yogurt. Coconut milk yogurt is made by fermenting coconut milk with probiotic cultures, and while it doesn't contain the protein or calcium that dairy yogurt does, it offers its own unique set of powerful benefits. Coconut is rich in medium-chain triglycerides, or MCTs, particularly lauric acid, and these special fats are metabolized differently than other fats in your body. They are absorbed directly into your bloodstream from your digestive tract and taken straight to your liver, where they are used immediately for energy rather than being stored as body fat. This makes them particularly valuable for older adults who may have compromised digestive systems or difficulty absorbing nutrients. MCTs have been shown to support brain health and cognitive function, which is critically important for preventing or slowing cognitive decline. They have antimicrobial properties helping to fight harmful bacteria, viruses, and fungi in your gut. They may help improve insulin sensitivity and blood sugar control, and they provide quick energy without spiking blood sugar. Lauric acid specifically is converted in your body to monolaurin, which has powerful antiviral and antibacterial properties, potentially helping to strengthen your immune system. The fermentation process adds beneficial probiotics, just like dairy yogurt, supporting your gut health and all the downstream benefits that come with a healthy microbiome. When choosing coconut milk yogurt, you must be very careful to read labels because many brands add significant amounts of sugar, thickeners, gums, and other additives. Look for brands that contain only coconut milk, probiotic cultures, and perhaps a small amount of natural thickener like tapioca starch or pectin, and avoid any with added sugars or long list of ingredients you can't pronounce. Now let me give you some practical guidance on how to incorporate these 4 beneficial yogurts into your daily routine, because knowledge without action is just entertainment, and I know you're here for real results, not just information. First, I recommend you eat yogurt or kefir at least once per day, preferably twice. A good serving size is about 3/4 of a cup to 1 full cup. The best times to consume yogurt are with breakfast to start your day with protein and probiotics that will support your digestion throughout the day, as an afternoon snack to prevent blood sugar crashes and maintain steady energy levels, or as part of your dinner to provide the probiotics that will work overnight while you sleep, supporting your gut health and immune function. Because these yogurts are plain and unsweetened, you might be wondering how to make them more palatable, and this is where you can get creative while still keeping things healthy. You can add a small amount of raw honey or pure maple syrup if you need a touch of sweetness, but keep it to no more than 1 teaspoon. You can add fresh berries which provide antioxidants and fiber without the sugar load of dried fruit or fruit preserves. You can sprinkle on some nuts or seeds like walnuts, almonds, chia seeds, or ground flaxseed, which add healthy fats, protein, and omega-3s. You can add a pinch of cinnamon, which helps regulate blood sugar and adds wonderful flavor without any sugar. You can blend it into smoothies with fresh vegetables like spinach or cucumber and some fresh fruit, creating a nutrient-dense meal, or you can use it as a base for savory dishes like a cucumber yogurt sauce, a substitute for sour cream, or mixed with herbs as a healthy salad dressing. Let me also address some common concerns and questions I often hear about yogurt consumption. Some people worry about consuming dairy because they've heard it's inflammatory, or that humans weren't meant to drink milk after infancy. The truth is that fermented dairy like yogurt and kefir is very different from fresh milk because the fermentation process breaks down much of the lactose and predigests the proteins, making it much easier to handle even for people who have trouble with fresh milk. The probiotics and other beneficial compounds in fermented dairy actually have anti-inflammatory effects rather than pro-inflammatory effects, as long as you're choosing high-quality, full-fat, organic or grass-fed options without added sugars and additives. If you're truly dairy intolerant or have a confirmed dairy allergy, then the coconut milk yogurt I mentioned is an excellent alternative. But for most people over 65, high-quality fermented dairy is not only safe but incredibly beneficial. Another concern some people raise is about the saturated fat in full-fat yogurt, worrying that it will raise cholesterol and increase heart disease risk. The research over the past decade has thoroughly debunked this outdated notion. Multiple large studies have shown that full-fat dairy consumption is actually associated with lower rates of heart disease, not higher, and that the saturated fat in dairy behaves very differently in the body than saturated fat from processed foods or poor-quality meats. The fat in yogurt comes packaged with calcium, protein, and other nutrients that work together synergistically, and this whole food matrix is what matters, not isolated nutrients viewed in isolation. I also want to mention that quality matters tremendously when it comes to yogurt. Not all yogurts labeled Greek are true Greek yogurt. Some are thickened with additives rather than being properly strained. Not all yogurts labeled probiotic contain live, active cultures by the time you eat them because the cultures die off over time, especially if the yogurt has been sitting on the shelf for weeks or months. Look for labels that say contains live and active cultures and check the expiration date to ensure freshness. Buy from refrigerated sections, never shelf-stable yogurt that doesn't require refrigeration, because this means it's been ultra-pasteurized, killing all the beneficial bacteria. When possible, buy from local dairies or farms where you can verify the quality of the milk and the production practices. Or consider making your own yogurt at home, which is easier than you might think and gives you complete control over the ingredients and fermentation process. Let me tell you why this matters so profoundly at your stage of life. When you're over 65, your body is less forgiving of dietary mistakes. The inflammation you could get away with in your 30s and 40s now accumulates and manifests as chronic disease. The blood sugar spikes you might have recovered from quickly when you were younger now contribute to insulin resistance and diabetes. The gut damage from processed foods and artificial ingredients now results in compromised immune function, poor nutrient absorption, and systemic inflammation that affects every organ in your body. But here's the beautiful truth, and this is what gives me so much hope and excitement for you. Your body still has a remarkable capacity to heal and thrive when you give it what it needs. When you remove the toxic, processed, sugar-laden fake foods and replace them with real, whole, nutrient-dense foods like the yogurts I've described, your body responds. Your inflammation decreases, your energy increases, your digestion improves, your immune system strengthens, your mind becomes clearer, your mood stabilizes, your bones become stronger, and you give yourself the best possible chance at a long, vibrant, independent life. This isn't just about adding years to your life, although that's certainly important. It's about adding life to your years, making sure that the time you have left on this earth is spent feeling good, being active, maintaining your independence, enjoying your family, and living with vitality and purpose rather than being held back by preventable chronic diseases and declining health. The choices you make today, right now, with something as simple as which yogurt you put in your shopping cart, these choices accumulate over time and determine your health trajectory. You have far more control over your health destiny than you might realize, and it starts with these fundamental nutritional decisions. I've worked with thousands of people over my many years of practice, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that the people who thrive into their 70s, 80s, 90s and beyond are the ones who take their nutrition seriously, who make conscious, informed choices about every single food they put into their bodies, and who understand that food is not just fuel but information that tells your body how to function. So here's what I want you to do today, right now after watching this video. Go to your refrigerator and look at the yogurt you currently have. Read the ingredient list. If it contains added sugars, if it's low-fat or fat-free and flavored, if it contains artificial sweeteners, or a long list of ingredients you can't pronounce, I want you to throw it away. Don't finish it. Don't wait until it's gone to make the switch. Throw it away right now because every serving of that toxic yogurt is damaging your health. Then make a shopping list. Write down plain, full-fat, grass-fed Greek yogurt. Write down full-fat kefir. Write down sheep or goat milk yogurt if you can find it. Write down unsweetened coconut milk yogurt. Go to the store, read labels carefully, and stock your refrigerator with these health-promoting options. Start eating 1 to 2 servings per day. Pay attention to how you feel over the next few weeks. I'm confident you'll notice improvements in your digestion, your energy levels, maybe even your mood and mental clarity. This is just one change, one simple swap, but it's a powerful one that can set you on a trajectory toward better health. If you found this information valuable and you want to take control of your health with evidence-based, practical guidance that cuts through the confusion and misinformation that's so prevalent today, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new that you're going to implement in your life. And please, I want to hear from you in the comments below. Tell me which of these 4 beneficial yogurts you're going to try first. Tell me if you've already been eating any of them and what benefits you've experienced. And let me know what other health topics you want me to cover, because I'm here to serve you and help you live your healthiest, most vibrant life possible. Your health is your greatest wealth, and you deserve to feel amazing every single day regardless of your age. Now go take action, make that change, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll continue this journey toward optimal health together.